179. We have talked about keeping agreements, the importance of keeping promises, and how to live up to it. Now there are certain tips I would suggest to share with you all on making and keeping. The first and the foremost important point which comes to my mind when it comes to making promises is that you must make all your promises, all your agreements that you actually intend to keep. Just don't keep making promises which you do not value yourself and you do have no intention to keep it. That invariably you end up breaking it or forgetting it and ultimately losing your credibility. The second point which comes to mind when we talk about making promises and agreements is that you must actually write down all those promises and agreements you make with others. As I said, actually you make these agreements with yourself. Now, what happens? You keep on making promises and agreements with almost everyone and make many of them in a day or in time. When you do this, you are most naturally likely to forget most of them. If you forget your agreements and promises, the fault of that person with whom you have made this agreement or promises, you actually be showing your casual attitude towards. The best way is that following the principle that firstly make only few and those promises which you intend to keep, one, and secondly write down all those promises you make so that you remember. And it is best suggested that you take a review. Since you have written down, a weekly review, a fortnightly review will help you to remember them and strengthen your conviction and fulfill your agreements and promises. Third point, I suggest that communicate any broken agreement at the first appropriate time. As soon as you know that you're going to have a broken agreement, your car won't start. You're caught in the traffic. Your child is sick. Your babysitter can't make it. Your computer crashes. Notify the other person as soon as possible and then renegotiate the agreement. This demonstrates respect for others, time and their need. It also gives them time to reschedule, replan and make other arrangements and limit any potential damage. If the first appropriate time is after the fact, still let them know that you have a broken agreement. You can't fulfill your words at the given expected time. Clean up all the consequences and decide whether to recommit to your agreements, review, reschedule, and then make a fresh promise. The last and the fourth suggestion I can give is learn to say no more often. Give yourself time to think it over before making any kind of promises or agreements. I write the word no is yellow highlighter on all my calendar pages as a way to remind myself what I must really consider. What else I'll have to give up if I have to say yes to something new? It makes me pause and makes me think before I add another commitment to my life to somebody else. My friend, all these tips which I'm sharing with you is basically, you may have a great intentions, but you tend to forget to do what you agreed to do. And the result is the same as you're choosing not to keep your agreements and you falter. Effect of all these false promises and broken agreements is only one, that you lose your credibility. And if you're losing your credibility process is consistent, nobody will believe you, your even truthful words. Your entire personality, entire potentials is affected by just casual broken agreements or breaking promises. Thank you very much.